Dun 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 dun. Hey everybody, how you doing? This is TPIM SR Live. I'm your host. True Power is mine. Today the topic is brothers and sisters, the cost of liberation, and it will cost. Many of you know the old saying, "Freedom is not free." Well, freedom isn't free. Then what do you think that the cost of liberation will be? A lot of things are happening in the news. Oh, also, real quick before I get started, I just got off the phone with Brother Christopher, Forerunner 777. Tentatively, hopefully permanently, like concrete, Brother Marty. Brother Nathan. Nate Dog, welcome to the show. 10 a.m. Friday. Forerunner 777 will be on the show. All right. We're going to be talking about the Pope's edict about priests being allowed to actually procreate now or get married and have babies. And also the geopolitical ramification of the ununification of Israel, what it could potentially mean to pathetic prophecy being fulfilled. Oh, this is a tremendous year, brothers and sisters. Tremendous year. Also running Chief Sister Samson. And I want to get her back on to talk about wellness and holistic healing, the body, mind, and spirit for the up-and-coming challenges. Brothers and sisters, we are on the precipice of greatness. We are on the precipice of liberation. We are on the precipice of freedom. I ask you all just to endure just a little longer. Just a little longer. Oh, on the email update, if y'all can see, I still got 22,931. I am working on them emails. Sister Kathy, welcome to the show. Peace and power. I am working on those damn emails. But my God, there is a lot. So let's jump over here to, oh man, what a horrible picture. Dark clouds, bullies and the beast. The bully and the beast. Listen, if we haven't gotten it through our thick skulls yet, that all these headlines, let's just scroll down. Hopefully, oh, there it is. Now it's in frame. Hold on. Let's get this to where you all can read along with me. AI bias, how high tech determine if land, jobs, get loans, or end up in jail. Boy, we could just, Brother Brown, welcome to the show. Could you picture if we could have AI with racist attitudes and predisposition already programmed into the machine? Isn't that the wet dream for the racial nationalist to have a friend? I got a friend indeed. A friend in AI. Oh, what a sick world we're living in, gal. Motorola becomes major player in government surveillance. I remember when I used to have one of those twerk phones. You know, you hit the tweet, little walkie-talkie section. Oh, it is going to be Judge Dredd. Welcome to the show, Wes. Brother Wes. Peace, power, unity, victory. Love and respect and dignity. That's what we need, y'all. We need to quit loving these things, brothers and sisters, and start loving one another. And I'm not talking about the old stupid ass commercialized version of love. I'm talking about agape love. I love you just because you're you. I love you just because you're breathing the same air, drinking the same foul water as me. We're in this together. We're all in the trenches together. Now, there's a few outside the trenches. There's a few goons who are running the trenches. But the overwhelming vast majority of humanity is quite literally in the trenches. And if we don't get out, domestic gas is coming. Brother Jay, welcome to the show. Good morning, peace and power. I had an interesting comment the other day. I didn't respond back to it, but a viewer wrote to me. You always start off your show with peace and power, but I prefer strength, revenge, and power. Brother or sister, let not your heart grow cold, for then the enemy of us all wins. The enemy of humanity wins once our hearts grows cold to one another. Will I say that there will ever be a kumbaya period on this planet? Probably not. Do I wish there was a kumbaya period on this planet? Absolutely. Because the notion that got all of the Germans to rally behind Hitler, the notion that got all the Chinese to rally behind Mao, the notion to get all the Russians to rally behind Stalin is still true. People are searching for a better state of being, a better body, a stronger, more fit mind. The concept of the Uberman. If that concept to ever be fulfilled or achieved, it will be an amalgamation of the best aspects of all the so-called different races of humanity in one. That, my friend, would be the true Uberman and true Uberwoman. Or in English terms, Superman and Superwoman. It will not come out of one genetic strand, nor manifestation of so-called race, because as we go farther down the path of enlightenment, as we go farther towards the source of truth, then we should understand that if we don't have each other, then in essence, we are truly, truly alone in the universe. We have an opportunity on this fifth tier mining planet called Earth, outside the gaze of those who control the galaxy, outside the gaze of those who can destroy us utterly, to build something to defend ourselves in future generations. If you believe the human family is worthy of continuing down the path that we're on, or the path that we may one day choose for ourselves. Without time, we are nothing. It took time for you to get out of the nursery stage into early child development, and then into teenage and early adulthood, and then finally maturing into the adult that you are today. It took time. Well, friends, I'm telling you, and I'm not doing a sense of urgency for some sort of sales tactic, but I'm just telling you sincerely and truthfully, time is running out. Time is quite literally of the essence. Why? Well, because there's all kinds of systems and covert operations and plans ready to go to exterminate us. There will be 500 million people on this planet, whether you like that fact or not, as long as we continue down this road of consumerism and corporate worship. We worship corporations. You don't get up every day praying to God, do you? Marty, welcome to the show. Peace and power. But you will get up and put those damn bootstraps on and go down to the mill, go down to the factory, go out into the fields, go to the office, or commute to your computer station. And all these various different jobs are adding to the collective sum of our totality of imprisonment on this planet. That's what it is, guys. That's why strikes are so effective in many ways. You shut that factory down. You stop the ability for them to maintain their timely schedule, interrupt the cash flow. Now you're doing something. But until you get to that point, As long as we all remain individuals in a collective war, we're not changing our path. If anything, whatever we do would just be exacerbating the process to our total annihilation. Dark trends in American society call for spiritual warfare. I've been telling you this, guys, forever, man. There is a spiritual side to this life. How come when a common man says it, it means nothing? CNN reports it. MSNBC says something about it. Al Jazeera steps on it. Russia Today mentions it. And all of a sudden, it's the gospel. Oh, and suddenly you want to do something. You want to participate. You want to start praying and meditating. You want to start exercising your mental muscle, your spiritual muscle. Like I said, unless you're actively and consciously fighting this thing on all facets, you're just doing what it wants you to do. All you gangbangers, I was thinking about this today. How come there's not one gangbanging organization out there that takes the brightest members of its membership and use the dope money to send them to college to become doctors, to become head of institutes or organizations? Why? Why not? Not just one. Because it's not in the game. The leader of the game, just like leaders of religious institutions, realize that their followers are stupid as blocks of rocks. And if they ever become awakened to the stupidity, that jeopardizes their leadership capability. I wish right now I had enough funds to fund a young boy or a young girl to go to doctoral school in computer programming, to go to advanced algorithm application and development. Oh, I would gladly pay their tuition if I had the funds. We have to understand. Wow. Look at this. Look at this headline right here. Before I go on to another topic. Right here. This robot can make 300 pizzas in an hour. What's going to happen when the jobs are gone? And people felt, we don't need no damn universal income. We don't want free money. We're going to work for ours. And there's literally no work to do. What's going to happen to those people? Are they going to be allowed to run amok and gum up the machine? Or are they going to be, I don't know, exterminated? Judge Joe Brown has warned us all. The reason why we have the penal systems and the penal codes the way we have set up right now is to directly influence the number of people working versus the number of people who cannot find a job. If they cannot find a job, we pull them off the streets, put them into the jail. Hopefully 5-10 years down the line when they get out, there will be jobs available. And the benefit of that, we also create a permanent lower tier of society, meaning you can't become let's just think about it. If you're a felon, what jobs can you not get? Well, you can't be a police officer. You can't be most civil servant jobs. You can't be in the financial institutions such as insurance agents, banking, loan officers. Okay. You can't run for public office. Okay. What else can you not get or be if you're a convicted felon, especially a drug felon? Oh, you can't get access to Medicare, Medicaid, or food stamps or Section 8. Okay, now what else? That's pretty much about it. You can get jobs being a landscaper, maybe a janitor in certain situations. But for the most part, you're basically, let's just say, typecast into the role of a criminal. Sister Kathy, hey, my city, they announced homeless to be jailed. And we talked about that in past shows because homelessness represents a threat to public peace and dignity. So now let's show you how they're going to drag your ass back into slavery. Put this in your thinking caps, kids. The 13th Amendment allows for slavery as a form of criminal punishment. Now let's jump into reality. All we have to do is make a bridge between you, the citizen, you, the homeless individual, and a being a prisoner. We have to understand the business of racism and how this business will directly affect our freedom. 14% of black population, but 40% black homeless. No telling how many percent black incarcerated. No telling how many percent black deaths in combat situations. All to keep the machine that ultimately wants you grind down in power. Now, I'm not saying that we can't change this, y'all. I'm saying we absolutely have to change this. But if we don't have conversations about what this is and about how this is personal to you, oh, Jesus, you might as well just march your ass down to the internment camps right now. America's first cannabis cafe lights up West Hollywood. That's what we need. We need people whacked out on dope so that they can't see the plan. Now, this weed cafe's not for you, Sister Kathy, Brother Marty, Brother Jay, Brown, Brother Wes, Brother Nathan. The weed cafe's not for you, my friend. Just like prostitution's not for you. Just like insider trading's not for you. Just like conquering the whole damn continent and making sure your bloodline gets it, it's not for you. In order for us to understand what we are against, we must understand what we have been through collectively. And we must see it for what it truly is. Not for what we want it to be, but for what it truly is. And just because they hand out a couple of plates of fucking beans and they give a full extra piece of cornbread or two doesn't make it a benevolent situation. It doesn't make it righteous. All it makes it is manipulative. I still go back to this thing with Stacey Dash in my mind. Now, I don't know how much bigger the husband is than her, but I know how much lighter he is than her. Do you think that had a factor? That when those officers got to the scene, they didn't see a little fragile Stacey Dash. No, they just saw a vicious, scary black woman. That's what they saw. And I say this today to get you to see that you may look in the mirror and see something radically different than the people who are truly running the show, the people who truly have the ability to lock your ass up or set you free. They can see it in your hair. They can see it in your brown eyes. They can see it in your broad nose, your full lips, and the way you carry yourself. You might not see it. You might not want to acknowledge it, but it's there. It's in every cell of your body. It's in every molecule, every proton, every electron, every neutron. It's in your RNA, and it's in your DNA load. It's that hair that defies gravity, that wants to grow up to the stars. All you have to do is accept you, accept who you are, what you're about. Realize that you can get places and take film and get audio clips of people acting badly, inappropriately. You can be the spook that's set behind the door. And speaking of which, this is for the older crowd that don't know how to perhaps use YouTube. I want to share something with you guys. Sister Alexandra, peace and power, unity and victory. Go to my channel, go to playlist tab, click it. You see all these wonderful playlists I've made so far. Go to, I think, audiobooks and movie and wisdom. Go to the, just click on full playlist. Let me, okay. Here it is right here. I got that movie on the channel. The spook that sits behind the door. Well, hold on. Yes, there's a commercial, but there should be no commercials in the movie itself. Oh, that's what got me on the first one. I watched this movie a lot. Oh, hold on. I got to do this report. It just now hit me. I want to thank my confidential informant in St. Louis, Missouri, that sent me this particular. Oh, this is quite troubling. Hold on. Inmate to be executed. Teen dies. Right here. This one. And we're going to play this one. And we're going to break it down. Because it's not just happening in St. Louis. This is the plan for the whole land, my friend. Hold on. They updated this bitch.
Now we are in day one of the Parson crime plan to help cut down on violent crime in St. Louis.
Ray Preston reports the governor's commitment to assign more than 24 state workers, many of them highway patrol troopers, to St. Louis, began today.
Anybody leave the house with me?
Ludwig Brock says,
oh, come on.
See the new Aerial Act glass blower.
Man, how are they going to give us some damn LARP commercial during this presentation? How? This is quite unsettling. These fools would rather be out here LARPing than dealing with social issues and problems. Hold on.
after serving 5 years in prison on a drug charge, he's now a working man. We asked what he would like to see to fight crime.
It's not safe out.
He better be a working man, because being on a drug crime, remember what I just told you? His ass ain't getting Section 8. His ass ain't getting no type of Missouri help at all. That's the game. And listen to what this fool says.
It's not safe anywhere.
He says the technology is available and he'd like to see more cameras blanketing the city. He says drugs continue to be a problem and too many people have guns.
Well, the drugs seems to be a problem. You need to talk to the federal government. You need to talk to them about taking away the criminality to doing drugs. Apparently, people are going to do them. And you also need to talk to the CIA about bringing this shit in.
He recently went to Fairground Park.
I cut it 26 people, 26 young guys. All these guys had guns. Each one of these guys had a gun.
And all 26 of those young men were right on to have a gun. He just said this place is fucking dangerous. So what, you expect them to be unarmed? You expect them just to be popped up? Now, his issue is he is a drug felon. And you've got to understand the repercussions of that. But listen to this old milk bone response he gives. Go ahead, doggy. What, they're not going to let me play it now? Oh, my God. We got to endure
Right now we are.
What the heck? And this is supposed to be good internet, yeah? Oh, my God. It's like.
I knew my son could be at risk of certain cancers later in life.
Oh, God.
Infection.
I don't want to hear about your pussy trophy and what type of dirty whore he's fucking. I want to get back to this brother. Well, he says that it is so terribly tragic. But we got to fucking deal with this, Scared old boy is going to get genital warts. Well, if he would fuck the right chick, he wouldn't have to worry about that now, wouldn't he? All right, come on. I don't want to play the audio because I don't want to copyright bullshit.
Crime plan to help cut down.
Cameras blanketing the city. He says drugs continue to be a problem and too many people have guns. He recently went to Fairground Park.
I counted 26 people, 26 young guys. All these guys had guns. Each one of these guys had a gun. Each one of these guys.
Your ass should have had a gun.
Governor Parsons' crime plan will add 2 state troopers to the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, as well as Mission Save, which targets the most violent offenders and works on drug investigations. Parsons says there will be Highway Patrol troopers working the interstates in the city to apprehend violent.
No, to give men and women who are working fucking tickets. And you know who they're going to be targeting? They ain't going to be targeting dudes that look like this. They're going to be targeting melanated people. So when your ass is driving through St. Louis and your ass gets pulled over by a state trooper, it's because we're trying to fight drugs. But they don't mention none of the people who bring in the drugs in an industrial capacity. And that's not Mr. Guy talking about the guys having the guns in the park. Let's continue this. Oh, come on. Wow, man. Wow. Why do I even pay a cable bill if this is the type of internet I'm going to get?
Right now.
Life is sometimes hard enough to deal with on.
Oh my God, this is pathetic. How many commercials have we sat through, Yao? I mean, I guess this is a great point. This is what this internet's all about now. It's about just selling shit.
Now we are in day 1.
Add 2 state troopers to the U.S. Marshals Fugitive Task Force, as well as Mission Save, which targets the most violent offenders and works on drug investigations. Parsons says there will be Highway Patrol troopers working the interstates in the city to apprehend violent criminals. We asked the 26th Ward Alderwoman how confident she was that Parsons' plan would put a dent in the crime rate.
I wouldn't use the word confident, but I'm hopeful.
In the meantime, she's heard from her.
See, there's another chick, man. Hold on. Let's look at her, the background. And I'm breaking it down so you guys get look. All right, it's fading out, but white chick, white, another white person right here. You'll have one little raisin and a bowl of milk. That's how government works here in Missouri. And you're part of the country as well. There's always going to be these overseers who are watching this fool, making sure she's doing what she's supposed to do. Hold on. See, this is different than last night. They had an older chick, and you could really see the governing crowd. Oh, here we go. Another fucking commercial. Great. Great. I'm just trying to get to the end of this damn report. And like it knows I have this thing muted, so it won't. Oh, jeez, man.
I knew there there was a vaccine available that.
Oh God, we're back to old boy, and you should fix your screen. I'm trying to fix the stream, Bob. Welcome to the show, Rewards Club. Sister Janice, peace and power, unity, love, respect. All right, hopefully now. I'm trying to. Okay, hold on. Let's get right about there. Oh, here we go.
I knew my son could be at risk of certain cancers later in life.
Oh my God. It's like the computer here is not allowing me to get to the end of this damn 1 minute. This is supposed to be a 1 minute clip, but we already endured like 4 commercials with the same dweeb kid and his sexual reproduction issues. So, yeah, they're really pushing the HPV vaccine. All right, can we get the show now? I'm just going to have to talk to it. Oh, God, for love.
See the new Aerial Act, Glass Blower, and Vertebrae Show, Mermaids, Unicorn.
Oh, my God, man. Whoever infected this machine today just knows my disdain for LARPing. Just seeing this commercial is really, I mean, for people to have enough time and resources to sit there and park, oh, Sir Bartholomew, I bequeath thee the king. It just pisses me off. Oh, here we go, man. This is just fucked up. No!
I knew my son could be at risk of certain cancers later in life.
Oh, fuck it. Fuck it.
Human papillomavirus.
Fuck it.
I knew how widespread HPV is, and while HPV clears from.
Oh my God, man. Why are they doing this to me? Just repeating this stupid ass commercial is pissing me off, y'all. Come on. I want to hear about this jerk ass kid and this bullshit. Oh, okay, whatever, fuck it. Basically, the thing I saw last night, this old chick was saying, yeah, we had 12 murders, and basically they had 12 murders since the beginning of the year. They're willing to take away people's rights. I'm shocked they're not doing a stop and frisk program. You know what I'm saying? No, this isn't terribly frustrating because I want to use their own fucking words against them. I'll just refresh this shit. I'm going to do this report. Your stupid ass commercials are not going to stop me. And that's just what it is. I will not be stopped. I will shut up and we will do this full.
Now we are in day 1 of the Parson crime plan to help cut down on violent crime.
Bullshit.
Ray Preston reports the governor's commitment to assign more than 24 state workers, many of them highway patrol troopers, to St. Louis, began today.
Anybody need the housework?
Andre Brock says after serving 5 years in prison on a drug charge, he's now a working man. We asked what he would like to see to fight crime.
It's not safe out here anymore. It's safe anywhere.
He says the technology is available and he'd like to see more cameras blanketing the city.
Really?
He says drugs continue to be a problem and too many people have guns. He recently went to Fairground Park.
I counted 26 people, 26 young guys. All these guys had guns. Each one of these guys had a gun. Each one of these guys had a gun.
Governor
what was you doing at the park?
We'll add 2 state troopers.
Hold on. What was he doing at the park? Maybe trying to get a little more drugs. He's just a user now, not a dealer. Man, I'm tired of this old pandering bullshit.
Parson says there will be highway patrol troopers working the interstates in the city to apprehend violent criminals. We asked the 26.
Yeah, we all know that violent criminals just hang out on the fucking highways.
In the crime rate.
I wouldn't use the word confident, but I'm hopeful.
In the meantime, she's heard from her constituents.
Tired, frustration, hopelessness. But they understand that there are different layers to it and that it's not just a policing problem.
I think it's a drug issue within a certain part
of our community
that we need to address this.
Stop. Now look at the backside. There's a girl that was just talking. All right here. But look at this guy. Look at these people. Look at these people. They probably don't even live in this district. But they let her run the joint. This is the gag, man. And they're going to say here, the problem here, it's those 22 men with guns, or 26 men with guns. It has shit to do with economic viability. It has shit to do with these people cramped up in this corridor of the city. They can't get out. They're basically red line into this bitch. But nobody wants to talk about that. We just want to point the finger at the little young men in the park. So now, I guess the police got the green lights to run up in the park because we all know they're packing, and they start shooting because they're in fear of their fucking lives. This is the joke. This is the game. And once these two chicks, once this chick here and this chick here gets played out, they're used up, they're gonna toss their monkey ass to the curb, along with all their genetic seed. Keep playing the fucking game. Keep pointing the fingers at the fucking victims of the machine and never point at the operators of the machine. Never point a finger at them because you know your finger would be lopped the fuck off. This is how you know who has the fucking power. Now let's hear what this old frog-faced whore has to say. Oh no.
Every veteran has a story. Did whatever.
All right, I'm done. I'm done.
They've given to our country what most of us can't even imagine.
We had one bad battle. I know it wasn't as bad as some other guys.
I'm done with commercials, Yao. I am so done with fucking commercials today. All right. But that's a taste of what's happening here in Missouri. More fuckery. And now, my God, here's the boots right in your fucking face. Slaves, there's your boots. You can get them without a hefty price, more advertising. This machine is so wicked, so vicious. Let me get a drink. Where to start? Let's start where we should not go. The strongest aspect to the machine is military confrontation. That's why nowadays protesting doesn't work. You'll just get busted up, tear gassed out, and sent the fuck on home to get your fucking bootstraps on and go to your fucking job so you can pay for your mortgage. Striking works to the point to which if by some way you can maneuver and ensure that the company has to stay where it's at, it's fairly effective. But also nowadays we have to put in the very realization that they'll let you strike. You strike, it gets too bad. They'll just pull up fucking root and transplant that bitch down in Mexico, over in Taiwan, over in Korea, over in China. They'll just take the whole factory and just keep making the shit because at the end of the day, it's about the people who wants the product. They don't care if you're being whipped. They don't care if you're being sodomized. They don't care if you're not being paid. They want the product. That's why I say we have to quit loving these entities, these objects, these manufactured goods more than we love the human. And that's just quite simply where we're at. Brother Al, welcome to the show. Netanyahu. Oh my God. It was just right there. And you know what? Speaking of Benjamin Netanyahu, how many terms can he go? Netanyahu tries to avert indictment as he fights for political life. Similar to Trump, ain't it? And Boris Johnson? Trump under impeachment. Boris Johnson under a scolding response from the Queen, who may remove his ass from office. And we got Benjamin Netanyahu also facing indictment. Those are the three kings of the West, yeah. This is getting crazy. All right. Fugitive captured after 17 years in a cave. That's old boy in China. Stock spooked developing. Now, I'm not going to jump on the stock market's crashing, but I'm not going to do that. Because when that happens, For one, if I was to tell you it's going to happen, you wouldn't believe me. But for two, when it finally does happen, hopefully that will be a jolt enough for Yao to cut loose with the cash and fund the fucking hub. That will be resistance to stock volatility. It will be resistance to social upheaval. It will be resistance to the machine's plan to genetically annihilate you off the planet of the Earth. Socialism, food shortages, hyperinflation in Venezuela forcing thousands to leave. And where do you think they're going to roll to? Well, Pence, Sister Kathy, more than loves a good old-fashioned circle jerk. But I think he probably needs to stay where he's at underneath the rock he is. You know, he's nothing, you know, ever since I did that show with Wayne Madsen, and he broke it down how Pence met his wife at a gay conversion therapy session. You know, Pence likes the dick. That's just what it is. If it wasn't, his little faggoty butt wouldn't be there trying to get hands placed on him to get the demons of faggotry up out of him. All right. And just like that movie, Smoking Aces, where old boy shot that load on the jacket, and he was like, "No, that's a cinnamon roll." You know, some things you just can't wash off, and that's one of them. You just can't wash that stuff out. All right. So once you're soiled with that nonsense, once you taste the rainbow, it's kind of hard to get. It's kind of hard to get that taste out your mouth. All right. That's why we have. Well, I wouldn't doubt it, Sister Kathy Giuliani being in drag. A lot of those guys are so mean publicly because they're really submissive bitches privately. That's to say that when they go home into private rooms, they throw on a dress and get beat up in the face with a dildo. And then after they wipe off the shame of that, they go out there in the real world and try to tell you how to live your fucking life. They try to tell you how to be morally fit. When we examine them and their lives, we see they're anything but moral and or fit. Brother Chris, welcome to the show. Peace and power. Hypocrisy is what governs this nation. They are your rulers. Now, they don't make you bow down and worship him like they did back in the old days. But you definitely do pay heed to what they say. They say don't smoke pot. They say don't drink beer. They say don't inside trade. They say don't rape people. And you have better not transgress any of that, but they can. We can point at politicians who grabbed them by pussies. We can point at politicians who kicked it with Jeffrey Epstein. We can point at politicians who straight up inside trade, and we can look at when they bought the stock, when they made the bill, when the government gave the company the money, and when they collected their dividends. We can see all that shit. But peasant, you better not bring that up. That's how you know who has the real power. And all this other bullshit, man, I'm tired of it. The delusion of power. The delusion of doing something. Man, that's some bullshit. And not only that, it's some bullshit, it's some counter-constructive bullshit because it keeps people from facing the issues. Motherfuckers think everything's okay now. Oh, everything's cool, Brother Chris. There ain't nothing to worry about. We had Obama. There ain't no racism around this bitch no more. Please. This is what the system does. It manipulates, debase, and confuse. It changes the meaning of words and the contents in which words should matter. So therefore, when someone says, hey, man, I'm so bad, you're actually thinking bad is good and good is bad. So how can you ever commune if you believe in communing with the ancestors if you don't even know what frame of reference they're working off of? Because once you die, you just don't become brilliant. No, when you die, you're just as stupid, as retarded a motherfucker as you was when you were alive. So you was down here in your earthly body spewing forth retarded, stupid shit. When you die, that spirit will continue to progress. But if you're down here trying to seek the truth, trying to ascertain the truth and speaking good, wholesome shit when you die, that spirit continues as well. We got to get with it, y'all. Time is quite literally tick, 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 ticking away. Trump, Johnson, Netanyahu, Alex Jones, all of them are on the same team. Team Exterminate Brown. Now, they won't tell you this. They can't tell you this. Not directly, but they'll say subtle things to it. They'll do code words concerning it. But you have to be on game to understand what the fuck they're saying. And a lot of us are not on game because the playbook we've been getting is a jukey one. They got all kinds of stuff up in there juked out. And when we look at this reality, now fuck what everybody else says, CNN, Al Jazeera, Russian TV, fuck all that. What does this say? U.S. debt clock. Because at the end of the day, whether you guys want to accept this shit or not, I'm telling you, money's the only thing you guys respect and or appreciate. I'm telling you that. This is what you need to respect. Sister Kathy, get that fucking checkbook out and you write out a check for $68,872. Same goes for you too, Brother Chris. Sister Alexandra, start writing. Sister Janice, you got to put it together. Brother Al, come up with them ducats. Brown, you're not getting around this. $68,872. Brother Jay, you thought you was going to slip out the door? No, sir. You owe it just as me. Brother West, yep. And Nathan, $68,872. Your sons and daughters owes that. Your mom and dad owes that. Your grandma, grandpa, your cousins, everybody you know owes it. Brother Chris, broke. Oh, oops. That's a great question. What happens if you can't pay? What happens? Either your ass gets in prison and you're going to work that debt off, or you basically become a rebel, an outlaw, and you're subject to death upon capture. Now, is that like it is right now? No. You know reason why? Because that repo man hasn't come calling yet. But when you get that knock, we're here to get that money you owe the government. When you get that knock, and them knees started knocking. Welcome, Sam Brook. Welcome, brother. Welcome to the show. By the way, want to inform you, you owe $68,872 if you're a U.S. citizen for our collective debt. If you're not a U.S. citizen, lucky you. You just saved yourself $68,000 in change for now. And don't forget, this is just going up. Friends, next week, you're going to owe more money. The week after that, you're going to owe more money. Hey, by the way, this is going to be a good date. Hold on, let me X this out so I can get some bandwidth. When is the next U.S. debt payment due to China? No, hold on. Not debt payment. Hold on. I want to say it right. When is the next payment on the interest due to China from the U.S.? Net debt owed to individuals, blah, blah, blah. 90%. The U.S. debt to China. How much reason it could happen? Well, let's just look at the ebalance.com. U.S. debt to China. How much is it? Reasons why and what if China sells. All right. The U.S. debt to China is 1.11 trillion as of May 2019. That's 27% of the 4 trillion in the Treasury bill notes and bonds held by foreign countries. The rest of the 22 trillion. Looky here. What's that? 22 trillion. The rest of the 22 trillion. Come on. National debt is owed by either the American people or the U.S. government itself. Now, how can the U.S. government owe money to itself? Oh, there it is, you little rabbits. The U.S. government is a junkie on the Federal Reserve's dollars. We're junkies. We're such junkies. Hey, I want to invest in those dollars, sir. And the Federal Reserve's like, sure, fool. Here, let me tie you off and inject more money. They tell you they inject more money into the economy. Like a needle with a plunger and juice in it. But keep on pretending, keep on waving your flag. Fuck, during the national anthem, we all should be fucking taking the knee. Over the economic thing. We all should be taking a knee. But nope, you dumb motherfuckers keep waving the flag. That's bought and paid for by a private fucking corporation. That's why I say, brother DJ, welcome to the show. That's why I say, this country worships Satan and corporations. It worships dead entities and the god of death and destruction. That's what we worship. Oh, when you go run up into the church with your fine suit on, you're paying homage to materialism. That's why you don't go up in that motherfucker with rags. When you put that dollar in the collection plate, you're sacrificing to the spirit of death and destruction. Go ahead. You guys won't fund your fucking liberation, but you sure as fuck will fund your own genocide. Yes. Yes. Way to go. Way to go. You guys are fucking awesome. And the sad thing about it, you're going to be the first one crying when they stuff your ass on the fucking train. Boo-hoo! How could this be? Boo-hoo! Get your fucking ass on the train, motherfucker. Because you truly believe if you do not produce to enrich and empower the very beast that enslaves and oppresses, then you are valueless. At the core. There's the trick, and there's the bag. Squirm as you may, you're never getting out. You know the reason why? Just like the story of ancient Greece and Zeus. His father, Kronos, was a really nasty bastard. Every time he got his mother, Gaia, fucking pregnant, he would eat the children. Because Kronos realized that his children could one day subdue him and oppress him. Well, one day Zeus's mother, tired of having her babies devoured by this beast of the man, or God rather, who's raping her, because after the first couple of kids, you would think she would quit giving up the pussy, but apparently not. She replaces baby Zeus with a stone. She runs with him to the mountains so he can be raised, and once he becomes an adult, the rest becomes history. He's able to force his father to basically throw up his brothers and sisters. When then the three older brothers of the ancient god pantheon, Hades, Poseidon, and Zeus, all split this three realms of reality: the sky, the ocean, and the land, or the underworld. We have been duped by a similar situation. Now, It ain't gods I'm talking about. It's just men. Men with armies, armies with soldiers, soldiers with weapons. Just like I told you the other day, kings and queens have the right to rule because they have the ability to kill with impunity. Governments have the right to rule because they too have the power to kill with impunity. It's as if we all collectively said, yeah, it's okay to kill human beings for no fucking apparent reason other than this man tells me to on certain issues. Like when it's time to go and get some oil or heroin, we can kill people. But when it's time to liberate brothers and sisters who are truly being oppressed, we can't because we set up those fucking oppressive bastards to fulfill a greater corporate agenda. Without an enemy, a lot of people wouldn't be getting up and tying on them bootstraps, which means this number would come to a radical halt. Whenever the United States decided not to print its own money. Oh, hold on one second. I got a phone call. Hello? Who? Yeah, you got the right number. Hold on. Now, what's this about? Solar power?
Yep, you filled out a form that said you were interested for your home. Was that correct?
Yeah, I'm interested in my home. I got a buddy listening. I got you on speakerphone. I got a buddy listening because he's interested in getting solar power on his home too to cut his electricity bill.
Perfect. What I do, Patrick, the very first thing, I take a look at your roof on Google Earth. I can tell you quickly if that would qualify. What's the address you're interested in?
Oh, okay. It is 408 South St. Louis Street.
408 South. What was the name of the street? Did you say Miller Street?
Yes.
M-I-L-L?
Yes, Miller Street.
Yeah, what city?
DeSoto.
Let me get the zip code.
That'll be 63020.
I've got something wrong. So you said 408.
Oh no, 418.
418. It said South State, S-T-A-T-E.
Yeah.
Street?
Yes.
Pull up. Oh, that's in DeSoto, Missouri, right?
Correct.
Okay, just one moment. And then you are the homeowner, and you've been there more than just a couple of months, right?
Oh yeah, I've been here for 38 years.
Perfect.
I'm older than I sound.
Thanks for being patient. My computer's giving me a hard time right now. Sorry about that.
Oh, I got nothing but time. I've been retired from the railroad shops for going on 7 years now.
Wow. Okay, cool. All right. Let me see. Sometimes it's supposed to make our life easier, and it doesn't.
Well, you know, I was just talking to a buddy. We're having coffee, and we were talking about when we were kids. Now, you remember that we had Flash Gordon and shows like that back in the day, and now when I was a kid, they said by year 2000, all the cars would be flying and all that. It's like none of that ever happens. Well,
I do remember it now that you're saying that. What I'm doing, I'm having a hard time finding it, so I'm going to a different search site. So I'm putting in 418 East Miller Street. Let me see. I'm looking at Bing and seeing if I can find it easier. Oh, and Bing found it right away. So where Bing took me, you know that East Gold Street and East Miller Street, it has me on the corner. Is that correct?
Yeah, yeah.
All right. And are you the northeast corner, right?
Northeast corner, right.
Looks good. I'm going to try looking
Right.
All right, so now I can get in. All right, so that's really good, Patrick. What you want to see is that southern exposure, wide open and sunny. So you're good there with all those trees around the house. They're not hitting the south side.
Now, how much would that cost to have installed?
Well, that's what there's no installation. It's the cost for the installation right now. It's zero down, no money out of pocket program. But let me ask you, I got a couple more questions. What's the utility you're with? We got to make sure they're participating.
Well, right now we are Union Electric out here?
Who do you get the electric bill from?
No, Union Electric.
Union Electric, I'm not sure if there is a program or not. Hold on a second, at least with us.
But now, if they are, I have enough money to pay. I want solar panels for my house.
They're not with us here. So what that means, it doesn't mean that they're not doing it at all, but you've got to call them. Call your utility and ask them if they're working with any solar companies, and they'll be able to tell you who they're working with. Unfortunately, there's nothing I can do, Patrick. So I'm sorry about that here.
Well,
you have a blessed day.
All righty. We're blessed. That was all bogus information, by the way. I just wanted to see how much that shit would cost to have installed. But, that's a case of social engineering. That's how you social engineered. I basically threw out a bogus address and just allowed her to fill in the blanks. I still want to know how much it costs to get solar panels installed on a home. But whatever. We'll continue on that path on another day. Now, what was I saying? Oh, yeah. When it comes to this national debt of $22 trillion, where do you think all that money went? You know where 12 trillion of it went, right? 6 went to Vanguard, 6 went to BlackRock, financial institution, corporate investment farms. How does that help the American people? Oh, it keeps probably 40 or so thousand people with really great jobs. But what's 47,000 people compared to 350 plus million people who are picking up the toe for their endeavors? I want, and I hope you want as well, true liberation. I want to be able to raise my family the way we want to raise them, me and my wife. I want to have a neighborhood where people live there not because that's the only place they can find or some government program pays the rent for them so they can carry their behaviors and attitudes into this situation. Because here's the reality. They only use Section 8 to drive down property values in certain areas. And then they'll come in and call regentification, buy it up for cheap and sell to each other for market value. And you, as melanated women and men, do not get to participate in that process. You get to be victimized by that process. You get to have disinheritance placed upon you in that process, but you don't get to participate in it. You may be fooled to believing you are by getting Section A and rolling up into an area where normally you would not be able to get into. But that causes a whole host of issues where a lot of your offsprings may end up dead or in jail. And you yourself, once you're used, will end up being homeless and placed into incarceration as well. All I ask is stop being used and start using people. What? What do you mean by that? Start using people in the system to benefit you and your operations. Start planning out tactically your moves. Stop flying willy-nilly into this thing we call life. Write out a true goal. Write out a true purpose. Whether it be good or evil, you have to write it down so it can manifest. That's the power of the written word. Now, you can burn the piece of paper, you can crumple it up, throw it away. It doesn't matter. By virtue of you writing it down in detail, what you anticipate on doing, what you're planning on doing, and any countermeasures to that operation, it benefits you. I wrote it down on a piece of paper. And then I burnt the paper. I can't tell you why it works. I can't tell you how it works. The mechanics. All I can tell you is it's working. It works. You're here. We're doing a show. And the dollars are mounting. Now let's jump back over here to this news thing real quick. Well, you know what? Hold on. I want to do an eye in the sky report real quick. Brother Nick. Once again, I go to my community tab. I click it. Try Dana. Who's Dana? What, Dr. Dana Fox? Hold on. Agenda 21.
Millions of Americans are now under the threat of what could be a historic snowstorm. The alert is in effect for much of the Northwest area. Some areas could see up to 4 feet of snow. Carter Evans reports.
Montana is no stranger to winter weather, but winter in September is rare.
This is pretty unusual for this time of year.
Micah Martin and his daughter are shoveling September snow in the town of Shoto, where there are already several inches on the ground.
I should have started earlier. By the time we're done shoveling, it's ready to go again.
Heavy snow fell across much of the state, downing trees and power lines. On the road, high winds blew snow sideways, causing whiteout conditions. The National Weather Service has issued winter storm watches and warnings for parts of Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming. By Monday, snow totals in the mountains will likely be measured in feet, and in communities at lower elevations.
When I got up this morning, I had this much snow in my car. For my pickup. Did they give you an idea how much it's been? Well, the forecast said up to a foot.
Teton County Undersheriff Steve Jurdy is asking residents to stay indoors as conditions worsen.
So our biggest challenge for law enforcement would be any emergency situation, helping the ambulance, if there's a fire, or just getting places without the power being on.
The snow is forecast to keep falling like this through Sunday. If that happens, they could get at least 18 inches here in Shoto, perhaps a lot more. In the city of Great Falls, they're expecting a foot of snow, and that could come close to breaking a record set back in 1934. Carter Evans, CBS News, Shoto, Montana.
Hello there. Parts of North America quite literally leapfrog from autumn into an early taste of winter.
Yeah, blah, blah, blah. You know, I mean, come on. If it snows in the mountains, that, you know, kind of what it does. Now, I have talked to an individual that has suggested that because the earth is changing, we're quite literally headed into an ice age. All right. And remember, last year there was supposed to have been a snowstorm that was so violent, it was going to shut down 3 major Midwest cities. Now, there's probably more of a chance of there being a major earthquake in the Midwest than some sort of ice age or mini ice age. But if there is an ice age, land's about ready to go through the roof along the equator. Now, I want to get away from that one because of the fact that, well,
Peace, love and light, my star family. Look at this dragonfly right here. Dragonfly just landed right here. Look how beautiful it is. I come out here and my vibrations are attracting nature. It's a wonderful sight, wonderful view. Right now, it's another sky update, my star family. It's been a while, like I said. I posted that last video, a black hole video, but it's clear, skies are clear. Not a lot of activity as far as aerial activity.
Yeah, there's no chemtrails.
Blue skies. It's very, very amazing. It's extremely cool. Extremely cool right now. The temperature is 77 degrees. And it's feeling like the California, that beach weather. It's very, very cool out here. No rain, no nothing. Just blue skies and everything.
That is so
Just
beautiful.
dragonflies.
God, I love that where he lives at, man. That is just so beautiful. I love the tropic area, by the way. I love the palm trees, the flora, the animals, the air. If I could, I would actually live in the rainforest.
Bill over here is chilling right now. Right up there. They say nature is buzzing and chirping. Yep. But for the most part, my Star family, it's okay. I'm back. But yeah, like I said, it's been a long week. Been noticing a lot of changes around me. It's just, say the least, I've been falling. I've been falling from as far as like, not my spiritual journey, but it's just been a lot having to like come back into this 3-dimensional world and having to work again. I don't mind it, but at the same time, I know my calling is for higher and better things.
Absolutely, bro.
I have to do what I have to do to survive while I'm out here still. And nothing negative, but you know, I can feel myself falling from that 4th-dimensional state of mental state and falling down to that 3rd-dimensional mental state. But
welcome to the show, Brother James.
I still know what's going on. I'm still vigilant. I'm still clear-minded. I said, just had to fall back a little bit just to, I don't know, just to see what else is out there. This is like a more of a overstanding and an understanding standpoint than I'm at. I've just looked at life for what it really is right now. At the same time, just got to live my life to the fullest. I have to experience new things to grow. I have to continue to just keep living, keep growing as a person. And also family. Family is first. Gotta, like I said, grow with them, teach them, even though they don't know as much as I know, as far as like the spiritual world, what's going on, what's happening around us. I know the sun is very, very bright today, but as far as what's going on spiritual wise, gotta keep teaching. Put it on them subtle, but not too strong, because they're not gonna be able to take everything that I say. But yes, the skies are clear. You hear some planes over there. For the most part, there'll be more videos to come. This is probably my only off day today. This week, Sundays. I work 6 days a week. So what more could I ask for? I'm just glad to be able just to talk to y'all again, keep y'all updated. There will be more, like I said, more and more videos to come.
Not yet. King Tide.
Speaking on the terms of the black hole video, I'll update that video to give you more of an understanding and understanding of what it is. But I'm going to end it right here, my Star family. I love y'all. I want you to keep vibing high. Keep on spreading your truth. Keep on trying to wake up our sleep giants, our own people. It's time to keep moving forward. It's time for us to keep spreading the positive energy around. I know a lot of people need positive energy, whether they believe it or not. I mean, no one likes negativity around them. Everyone likes positivity. But at this point, just keep moving forward, keep spreading your word, and also just keep bettering yourself each and every day. That's most important. Keep bettering yourself and keep learning from the lessons that you're being taught and given. Those are lessons. Any mistake or failure is a lesson from the Most High, a lesson in your life that's been planted in there. It's predestined. It's there for a reason. But I'm going to end it right here, my Star family. I love y'all. Say bye to my friend, my brand new friend, the Dragonfly over here. He just posted up, listens to me talk. So he's hearing the positive message. He's feeling this warmth, the energy out here, and this positive vibration. So I'm going to end it right here. I love y'all. Infinite peace, love, and light. Infinite prosperity and wealth and health. I love y'all. I'm out of here.
I love the hills.
Welcome to the show, Brother Leonard. Peace and power to you. Man, Brother Nick got some of the fattest beats out there. Hold on. Let me just see, this is really crazy. When we're looking at all the information, even on here, you know, like this right here.
So the fun thing with the serpent is, how does the serpent talk? What, and not only that, but why is the serpent's punishment to crawl on its belly when...
Blah, blah, blah.
Who were these sons of God? What were the Nephilim, which the Bible says were their offspring? A teenage Bedouin shepherd known to his tribe as Muhammad al-Evil, or Muhammad the Wolf, is searching for a stray goat along the desolate cliffs of the western shore of the Dead Sea in modern Israel. It is said that, believing his animal to have taken shade in one of the region's caves, he begins throwing stones into them. But instead of the bleat of a goat, the distinct sound of shattering pottery emerged from within its black depths. Spooked that the pottery may indicate the property and still revered and preserved in the modern Ethiopic church, the Scroll of Enoch. The old lore in Enoch's first book of Watchers claims that Genesis 6 refers to a time when divine beings from heaven descended to earth on Mount Hermon in physical form and produced offspring with the daughters of man. These divine human hybrid offspring were powerful giants called Nephilim, and what we know as demons, or Shadim in Hebrew, are now the disembodied spirits of the Nephilim. Where the Hermon Summit inscription commands initiates to be bound by an oath before entering, it is said that the entities who descended on Hermon also said, "Let us all swear an oath, and all bind one another that we shall not any of us turn aside from this council until we do this deed." Then they all swore together and bound one another by imprecations. And they were all of them 200 who came down in the days of Jared on the summit of Mount Hermon. And they called the mountain Hermon because they swore and bound one another by imprecations upon it. The natural place to begin with the identity of the Nephilim is the etymology of the term. The vast majority of academic dictionaries routinely explain this word as the masculine plural form of the Hebrew verb nafal, which means to fall. In other words, the fallen ones. But the linguist Michael Heiser has pointed out a problem for this view. The word Nephilim occurs 3 times in the Bible. In 2 of these cases, a stem of nun, fe, lamed for to fall makes intuitive sense.
All right, Mr. Creepy Voice is just too much. I want to bring that in because we were watching the King Flood in Miami there. It made me think of the Nephilim and the book of Enoch, and when it talks about what's that? Azazriel, Michael. There's like 4 basically archangels, Sephirophans, 6 winged angels. Oh man. Because 4 times 6 is 24.
Now at 5, it's hard to miss. King tides are making their impact on many residents who live near the coast.
The flooding could be even worse than
this buffering on my show. Come on, man. This is just too much. This is too much. $124 a month for this.
Is live in Fort Lauderdale with the reason why. Ted.
Man, Penn needs some fucking sunscreen. Sun's fucking dude up. Look at how rosy cheek.
Actually higher than we're expected. To give you an idea of just how high, you can see right over here at the seawall. That's where the water level is right now. This morning, during high tide, that water was over the seawall.
All that flooding and not a drop of water came from the sky.
It spilled out of the ocean as a result of those seasonal king tides. What you're seeing here is in Fort Lauderdale, in the Finger Islands off Los Olas Boulevard.
8:30, 9:30 this morning, it started coming up, and it'll take out our pool area.
Okay, stop.
In her front yard
Stop.
because water
Stop.
get.
Oh my God, I can't stand the buffering. Check this out. The only thing that story served was to psychologically get people ready for when the ice poles melt and the water really comes up. I mean, I get the whole king tide bit. But we have to look at why does Trump want to buy Greenland? Because Greenland's thawing out. We can get in there and get the shit out now. Or where's all that water going to go? It's going to go along the coastline and wipe out the people. Now, the rich people up high, they'll be fine. There is no up high area in Florida, though, for real. But, you know, I'm thinking more like California. Look, guys, don't worry your pretty little head over these rich people who will lose their beachfront property. Because the water's coming. Because the ice is going. Be mindful of what you eat out of the oceans because the oceans are becoming irradiated by sources known and unknown. You don't know how many military people or armies out there are dumping biological bullshit into the ocean, radioactive bullshit into the ocean from top secret experiments. You gotta get rid of it somewhere. Heck, it worked for Osama bin Laden's body, did it not? Throw that shit down the ocean, you'll never see it, right? Well, that's not how subatomic particles really work. And they should know this. The ocean is the original internet. It connects all land masses. It connects all peoples in many respects. The simple fact that we have to talk about pollution on this scale because there are people in this world who have power and they want to pollute the planet. Because when you think about it, there is no cost that people will not pay to ensure the safety and health of their children. So for you to say that, well, it costs too much to bury the shit in the ground or put it up in a mountain or put it somewhere tucked away, it'll cost too much, versus little Timmy getting leukemia from dipping his big toe in a polluted lake, stream, or river, or ocean, or sea. The cost of getting little Sally chemotherapy is cheaper than putting a lead-lined 50-gallon drum on a truck and sending it somewhere secure, encased in concrete, with lead particles mixed in the concrete. We simply don't have the power to make these decisions. Now that opens up a whole new tier of humanity. And on that level, we are all brothers and sisters. Unless you indeed have the ability to say you can put this nuclear toxic sludge here or there. Then to you, my friend, I ask on behalf of all parents everywhere, would you please put it in a secure location where it will not leak into the environment, causing irreparable harm to flesh. But see, Sister Raynetta hipped us to it. I believe some of these answers to a lot of these questions are outside the scope and power of even our elites. There's a racial hierarchy in the universe. And yet again, the greatest trick that a racist can pull is to get people to believe he or she is not there. That's when they can do their damage. And as long as you run around here believing, oh, there's no other life but Earth, then all these entities manipulating our leadership to do their ultimate bidding so that the day that we do become aware, hey, we have a fighting chance. Oh, no, we don't, because we're polluted, radiated out. Our DNA has suffered irreversible change. And that would be that. We'll be neutralized yet again, made to be mining slaves on this 5th tier mining planet in the solar system and the galaxy we call the Milky Way. Pretty sad fate for humanity. Pretty sad fate for your descendants. But you could change it right now, my friend. You. Working in concert with others, we can change it right now to ensure that DNA does not get destroyed, to ensure that humanity will ascend to the cosmos, take our rightful place amongst the stars. And instead of a race bent on subjugating and creating slavery elsewhere, we'll be a race that all the warmongering races of the whole universe will fear and tremble in their boots, because we will annihilate them, free the slaves, and liberate the cosmos. Because we understand fundamentally the frustration and the destructive nature of slavery. Then we will achieve what humanity should be about, the preservation of life, and the understanding that our lives will come to an end. We will only do this noble work for a season, and then we too must enter death. But death is not our God. And on that, I will conclude this episode of TPIM SR Live. Today's date, October 2nd, 2019, the year of our Lord. Another day of injection by the Federal Reserve to the tune of $57 billion into the economy. And it'll be going all this month. So a lot of you folks out there, a lot of people are going to be getting rich as fuck this month because that free money's hitting the economy. Are you going to get a piece of the pie? I ask you, live your life without integrity, without hate, envy, or greed. As always, brothers and sisters, let's try to be kinder to each other. Peace, power, unity, and victory. Liberation. I'm out.